Hi, I'm Will Salas from the Smithtown Library, and today we're going to be discussing how to become an e-filer. E-filer with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So what that means is if you're an inventor, you're looking for a patent, you own a small business, and you're interested in registering a mark for a trademark, then you want to become an e-filer. Actually, anybody should be interested in becoming an e-filer because it's free. And if you're going to do business with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, it is best to become an e-filer. It's much smoother and faster and cheaper. So that's what this discussion is about today. The reason I'm here discussing it is because, again, Will Salas, Smithtown Library. Smithtown Library is part of a national network of libraries called Patent and Trademark Resource Centers, which basically means we work with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. We're trained to help you begin your steps towards receiving some intellectual property protection in the form of patents and trademarks. So you can find me at the Smithtown Library. It's in Smithtown, 1 North Country Road. I can be contacted and we can meet, have in-person appointments. We can also have some phone conferencing while we have all of these COVID-19 restrictions. I can also be emailed at the email address you'll see below, wsalas@smithlib.org. And really what you want to do is when you're just starting out creating a business or seeking a patent or a trademark, you need to build a team around yourself. It's really difficult to go about it alone because nobody knows every aspect of the process except for your select few very wealthy, very successful businessmen. But if you're starting out, you really need to build a team. And we'd like to be part of your team. The United States Patent and Trademark Office is also very supportive, and they offer some help in the form of their Electronic Business Center when you're in the process of starting your application, and the Inventor's Assistance Center. Both work out of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, so they're legit organizations. They're not trying to hurt anyone. They want to help you. They want to help you along. So the big question is why become an e-filer? You should become an e-filer again because it helps you along the process of filing for intellectual property protection. If you're a tinkerer, if you're an inventor, and you have an idea that for an invention that you think you might be able to patent, you really want to get that done sooner or later. And the reason that is that the United States now has joined the rest of the world and become a first to file system. What that means is that if you have an idea for an invention to fix a certain problem, and then Florina over in New Jersey has the same idea, and Bob in Maine has that same idea, what is the first one of you three to articulate that idea and submit it to the United States Patent and Trademark Office that'll receive that filing date that says you are the first one? Because as you may know already, to have a patent, you have to prove that you were the first one in the world to have that idea. So timing is really important. And also with trademarks, it's a little different. You can already start using a trademark without having filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And that is when you're going to use that TM that you may have seen alongside names, logos, symbols for some companies that you shop from, or the SM, which is service mark. But really what businessmen and women are striving for is to register their mark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office to make sure nobody infringes upon their intellectual property and steals customers away from them by using similar names, symbols, logos, or like. And that's when you get the encapsulated R. Another reason that you want to become an e-filer, if you're looking to receive a patent for an invention, you don't necessarily have to become an e-filer. You can still actually file by paper. It's going to cost you more money. But if you want to file electronically and you just don't have the time to become an e-filer because there is a little bit of setup ahead of time, you can file as what's called a non-registered filer. And the difference between a non-registered filer and a registered e-filer is pretty significant. Let's have a look at the chart below. Here, the first thing is filing a new application. Both a non-registered applicant and an e-filer or registered applicant can both file a new application. Both the non-registered and registered can both access public applications. And the reason that's important is, again, you want to prove you're the first person in the world to have this idea. So in another lesson, I can show you how to go about making sure that you might be the first person to have that idea. But in any case, both registered and non-registered applicants can access public applications to comb through them to see if they are in fact the first ones to apply. However, your your rights, your abilities end there if you're a non-registered filer. But if you become an e-filer, you can file your paperwork and you don't have to file them all at the same time. You can continue filing, working on them, making adjustments, making improvements, working on different applications, and then file them up as you're ready. Also, you can electronically save your material. You can log into your account, which we'll talk about later, and you can start uploading documents and saving them. You also may review your unpublished submission. And then finally, the last thing that an e-filer can do that an unregistered filer cannot do is you can track your application online. This is very rarely something that you can file all at once. It's more of a process. It's a legal process, by the way, so I never discourage anyone from hiring an attorney, but I do encourage everyone to become an e-filer for other reasons. More reasons to become an e-filer. Well, everyone is unique. Everyone sees the world differently. So you may look at a problem and see it differently than everyone else. You might find that solution. You might find that device that makes it easier to live with this particular problem. And when I visit with schools and I talk to children about intellectual property protection, I teach them how to think like an inventor, meaning you look at things differently. You find solutions for them. Others who have the same problem may enjoy your solution. If that solution can be reduced to a particular device, you may have an invention there, an invention that may become patentable, a patent that could become a commercial success. Now, another reason to become an e-filer, as I discussed earlier, is that you can fully use the United States Patent and Trademark Office's electronic filing system, EFS. Again, it is cheaper to file electronically than to do so with paper and mailing them in. EFS submissions are protected through their security software. If you submit a patent application, you may pay for your filing and receive an acknowledgement that you had filed for your application right away. Also, the EFS web application is validated. It has to meet the criteria, and they're able to tell right away if your submissions are subpar and give you some coaching along the way to make sure it is done correctly. So, more reasons why you want to become an e-filer. Let's go back to that first to file system. So becoming an e-filer will make it easier for you to utilize one of the best tools available to you is a provisional patent application. In a nutshell, a provisional patent application is a timestamp that you had your idea on July 15th, 2020. John Doe invented this idea and has submitted it to the patent office and has a filing date of July 15, 2020. From that point forward, John Doe can start talking about his idea without the fear of others stealing it because he'll be able to harken back to that filing date should he file a provisional patent application. Now, the provisional patent application expires. You only got 1 year. In that year, you're going to do a patentability search, talk to business partners, see if your invention idea can really be made for a profit. And if you come visit with me at the Smithtown Library, I'll be the one who can show you how to go about doing that patentability search, just to be sure you are, in fact, most likely the first person to have that idea. Plenty of inventors have come and they thought they had a brand new idea that was new to the world, and by doing that patentability search, it's bittersweet. They find out that no, they're not the first ones, so they have a choice. They can tweak what around the existing technology, and if they tweak it enough and their new invention becomes different enough, they may be able to get a patent for that. Or that could be the end of the road for that. But it didn't cost them any money to find out. Okay? Provisional patent applications are really basically watered down versions of the RPA. The RPA will be the regular patent application that you will file within a year's time for your device, should you still want to file that. You cannot renew the provisional patent application. You only have 1 year's time to do all that work and deciding and research and filing for the regular patent application. The provisional patent application, or PPA, will never graduate to a patent. You will have to file a separate application for your regular patent application, and it will have much more criteria that you have to satisfy to make your application meet the standards. You cannot file a provisional patent application for a design. What that means is that there are 3 different kinds of patents. Really quickly, there's your utility patent, your design patent, and then your plant patent. The utility patent is for any invention that has functionality, a new method, a new process, a new article of manufacture, a new machine, those kinds of things. A design patent is more to do with the way your device looks, the ornamentation. If you have something that looks different enough, you may want to protect that with a design patent. But provisional patent applications, again, are only for utility patents. The final kind of patent is a plant patent. If you can asexually reproduce a new variety of trees, shrubs, bushes, flowers, then you can get a patent for that, but no provisional. Provisional patent applications, again, are just for your utility patents. So the USPTO, they're not even going to look at your provisional patent application. No. And for that reason, you can include more than one invention on there. And the reason they're not going to look at it is that because it's just a timestamp while you discover if this idea is actually new to the world and worth your time and effort and money application fee to file that. They don't look into it, so they don't do a prior art search for through your PPA. Okay. The provisional patent applications, they're not published. So if you're doing your patentability search, unfortunately, you can't look at these provisional patent applications. There's always going to be a leap of faith when you file for a patent because you cannot possibly know all of the applications that have come before you because many of them are still in the works and have not been published at patent offices around the world for you to review. So there will always be a little bit of a leap of faith when you're filing for a patent. Okay, so there's always going to be a little bit of a leap of faith when you're filing for a patent. The last thing I wanted to mention about the provisional patent application is that, excuse me, you can put patent pending on your device. If you're already selling something, if you've already got a product and you're in the provisional patent application phase, patent pending can be put on your device, and that seems to do a lot as far as marketing. People enjoy buying things that are new, in vogue, innovative. And lastly, about provisional patent applications is after that year's time or during that year's time, you file your regular patent application, then your protection for that patent idea, once you file your regular patent application, gets backdated all the way back to the original filing date of your provisional patent application. Okay, so I've been going on, and this presentation is supposed to be about creating an account, becoming an eFiler, so let's get started with that. According to the USPTOgov, which is the official website for the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, where you will do all business with them, is the USPTO.gov website. They say that there are 3 easy steps to becoming an eFiler. Well, we'll see. We're going to go over each. First step is creating a USPTO.gov account. Second, create a customer number. And thirdly, submit the patent electronic verification form. This is not an overnight process, only because you have to have one of the documents notarized, and this is one of the reasons why I'm giving you this presentation to help you along. Incidentally, the Smithtown Library has several notaries, public notaries, so you can make an appointment with one of us, and we'll be happy to notarize your documents. So step 1, create a USPTO.gov account. The USPTO.gov account, it'll allow you to create accounts, it'll allow you to change passwords, but most importantly, it's going to enable the 2-step authentication process. I'm sure many of you are already used to that whenever you log into a bank account, an online trading account. You want that security there, and so too with the U.S. Patent Office. They now have a 2-step authentication process. You will need an email address for that process. And of course, everything that we do with the USPTO.gov is going to go through the USPTO website. So let's take a visit to the USPTO.gov website now. Okay, here we are at the USPTO.gov website. Now, how I would prefer or encourage you to begin is not by just going straight to My USPTO. That will help get you to the application phase, but there's something I would prefer for you to see first. But for now, we're going to take a quick little break. So I'm going to be right back in just a moment. And welcome back. So as I was saying, there are several ways to get to create a USPTO.gov account or a My USPTO.gov account. This is a very handy feature of the USPTO.gov website. You can scroll under Patents. When you hover over Patents, the drop-down menu gives you access to EFS Web, which is the electronic filing system. And you could also create an account here. However, I do want you to begin a certain way. And the reason that is, it's going to give you more information for new users. I'm assuming you're all new users. So how I would like you to create your account is to hover over the Patents tab over here. When you do, it activates this drop-down menu. In this second column under Application Process, what I would like for you to do, Patents, under Application Process, we're going to click on the link that reads Filing Online. And the reason that is it brings you to this page. There's lots of wonderful information that I would encourage you to read through here. More importantly, what I want you to do is, or encourage you to do, is use the new users link here. Exactly what it sounds like. It has a lot of information that you're going to want to read, including the 3 easy steps for becoming an eFiler. And as I mentioned earlier, the first step is to create a USPTO.gov account. And if you just scroll down a little further, there's a paragraph here. There's a whole section on how to become or how to create a USPTO.gov account. So this is why I want you to start here, because all the wonderful information it will have to help you along in your application process. So now the actual link to create the USPTO.gov account is right here in this, embedded in this paragraph. Let's click on this link right now. So we're going to click on Create a USPTO.gov account, and we're going to get this template. Basic information about you, most importantly, your email address. Now, when you're completing this form, be sure to enter your complete legal name. This is just in case there happens to be another person in the country, very possible, another person out there who's interested in becoming an e-filer has the same first name, middle initial, and last name as you. This is why they highly encourage you to spell out your excuse me, bit of a technical glitch. So here we were, and you want to make sure to spell out your name. Right now, you are still at this point, you're still at the USPTO.gov website. Once you've completed filling in your information and click on Next, you're going to look into your email, where you'll get an email from the USPTO.gov with the next steps. And the next step is you're going to find an email. When you open that email, it'll look like this. It'll be asking you to activate your USPTO.gov account, and you just simply do so. Of course, you want to read through all this information here. This is my email address here. If you have any questions, I'll show you my information again at the end of the session so you can get a hold of me. And again, you're always welcome to make an appointment to visit with me, and I will go over the patentability search, the trademark search, and if you like, we can go over the e-filing as well. In any case, you're going to click on this link here to activate your account, which again will bring you to this screen. And you're going to create a password. Of course, you want to write this down. These are the minimum requirements: 12 characters, 1 upper, 1 lowercase letter, and a special character, as well as all of these security questions. And finally, you will have created a My USPTO.gov account, which will allow you to perform any of these functions. But you may notice that one thing is not available to you here yet. It's the availability, to actually file for a patent, to submit paperwork, or to file for a trademark. That won't be there for you because you've only completed step 1. You've created your My USPTO.gov account. So we have to go a little further. It's great to have the My USPTO.gov account, but if you really want to do business with the USPTO, we got to take step 2, which is to create a customer number. Very good. Step 2, again, we're going to create a customer number. To do that, we're going to use form PTO SB 125A, request a customer number. And once again, this all happens at the USPTO.gov website. So let's practice going there. Okay, welcome back to the USPTO site. Again, as a new user, you want to go to hover over the Patents tab. In the second column, select Filing Online. On the left-hand menu, we're going to select New User. Just want to drill this into your mind so that you can get all the good information that you're going to want to read through. So we've created our USPTO.gov account. Step 2 is obtain a customer number. And here is that link now. But before I go to that link, I want to call attention to this fax number. When you're done filling out this form, this PDF form with your information to get a customer number, you want to fax that to 571-273-0177. So let's have a look at the form itself. Here we are, form PTO SB 125A. The purpose of this form is to associate all your filings with one mailing address and to avoid any errors. It's a pretty much straight up form. It's going to be one page for most people, and I'll explain more about that later. Simple information about you as an individual, your address, city, state, and then anyone that you might be doing business with, that is any legal representation that's going to represent you with your patent filing. They're going to have a practitioner number, a registration number, and you would include that in these boxes here. Then some more information about you. Some terms you might find while you're filling out these forms, you might see a term called pro se. Pro se means someone who's filing their own application without legal representation. So whenever you see the pro se, they're referring to you, the individual inventor who's filing. You're going to sign form, and that's it. The second page, should you require it, would simply be if you are working with several more practitioners, legal practitioners, and you wanted to include their registration numbers as well. But if you are representing yourself, that won't be necessary. At the end of the document, you have your Privacy Act statement. So again, for most folks, if you're filing pro se or yourself as an individual inventor, you simply need to fill out this information here. Then finally, you can mail it to this address, or of course, you could fax it to that phone number, that fax number we had seen earlier, the 571-273-0177 number. One more thing I wanted to point out on the PTO SB 125A form is this little checkbox here. When you check this off, you're telling the USPTO that it is okay for them to send your customer number by email. So if you want to get it done quicker, I would recommend that. So once you send this form in, if you do not check off this box, you'll wait until you get a letter in the mail with your customer number. Check off this box and you will get your customer number a little quicker via email. Okay, so that was step 2, creating a customer number, which you have to do before you get to step 3, which is the final form, the Patent Electronic System Verification Form, or PTO 2042A. Again, we're going to go to the USPTO.gov, and I'm sorry if this is looking repetitive, but I really want you to be able to get to that information about new users. We're going to hover over Patents, go to the second column, click on Filing Online, scroll over to New Users. At the risk of sounding repetitive, you should read through all of this good information. These are your 3 steps. We're on step 3. We've obtained a customer number now. Finally, we're going to pardon me. We're going to obtain a verified USPTO.gov account by filling out the Patent Electronic Verification Form. Okay, instructions for that form are below, but let's take a look at it now. Okay, welcome to the Patent Electronic Verification Form. Um, Take note of this mailing address. Unfortunately, there's only one option here. There will be no faxing, and that'll make a little more sense later. But for now, you want to start filling out the form, and here's that pro se term I had mentioned earlier. Pro se, again, means filling out the form yourself. You are the pro se inventor. So you would check off here. Fill in the rest of the information. This is where you would enter your brand new customer number. Then there's some information about you, mailing address, telephone number. This is an all-purpose form. What you want to do as a brand new customer is check off the top box, request a new patent electronic system account. And then finally, you want to read through the rest of this information, sign and date the form. Now, why can't you just have this faxed just like you did with step 2? Well, because you have to have this form notarized. I might have mentioned earlier that the Smithtown Library has several notaries, myself included. So if you get to this point and you would like for us to notarize your document for you, give us a call and we'll be happy to make an appointment with you to notarize your documents. So you have completed the process, and now what you would do is you would mail off your form, and then you would be contacted by email with that you have finally become an e-filer, and now you would be ready to do business with the USPTO. You can take that invention idea, you can take that mark, a logo, a name, symbol, or what have you that represents your business, and you can have that officially filed. You are now an e-filer. Congratulations. You can take the next step toward becoming an inventor, a business owner, and owning some intellectual property, the American dream. For more information, I'm going to scroll back to one of the beginning pages with my contact information. I'd be very happy to discuss patents, trademarks, or anything to do with intellectual property. Again, I offer those tutorials one-on-one. You can meet in the building. If you're not comfortable or available to make it out to Smithtown to see me, we can have a phone conference and I'll go over the patentability search or the use of the searching your mark in the trademark electronic search system. Again, I'm at the Smithtown Library. My phone number is 631-360-2480, extension 128, and my email address is here, wsalas@smithlib.org. I thank you for visiting with us, and please visit the library's website at smithlib.org for more information about virtual programming and updates and what is happening at the library. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you.